Alright, it looks like things are back to normal. I don't know what happened there. Well, thanks for joining me anyway. Sorry I wasted your time. For those who are still here, we are going to do some exercises today. We're going to talk about what's going on in the Oud world, some things that are happening this month and in the future. And so thanks for joining. For now, we'll do a little bit of music. All right. Thanks for joining, guys. Robert, Brett, Carol, Nizo. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Bar, nice to see you guys here. Thanks so much. Thanks for hanging out while there was no sound. Yeah, it looks like even though I did some testing before, had the sound right, something copped out on me last second. I don't know what that was. I didn't notice. So yeah, anyway, that can happen. Right. Okay, so yeah. So my usual tuning, we've got C or Do, we've got G, Sol, we've got D, Re, we've got A, La, we've got F, Fa, or we've got C, Do. My usual tuning. Alright, so let's do some exercises. We're going to be using the notes Nahwand, and we're going to be doing one exercise here. Pretty easy, no notes to follow, just follow by ear, by sight. So we're going to use the notes D, Re, and Mi bemol, E flat, and a down up pattern. So forth and so on. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. And while you're doing this, you got to keep your index finger down. You got to keep that first finger down. If you don't, then it'll be less efficient. You can't be going like this. It's just not good form or technique. What you must do is keep that finger down. And we're going to do this in order to learn these special techniques that you can do this kind of thing. This kind of idea. So this exercise is really starting very slow. Maybe go to C and D, Do, Re. Now let's use Mi bemol, Fa, or E and F, second finger, pinky finger. Keep all the fingers down. If you want, you can let this one, the index finger, go a little bit, but you have to keep the second finger down. Now go back. Now I'm doing this very rhythmically. Da 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 da. So think of a beat. You gotta keep a pace. In order to get this to tremolo speed and to be able to put these techniques into music, you need to think about the pulse that you're doing behind each stroke. Everything is intentional. You don't want to be wishy-washy, going fast and slow. You want to be very consistent in your stroke patterns, very even. So think 1. So we're doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. We got about 16 strokes there. 1, 2, 3. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're landing on a downstroke on the original note. So it's about 16th notes. Think of it as 16th notes. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so we're doing 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and. So we're not doing the last 4 strokes on the 4th beat. We're just doing 1, 2, 3. Yeah, let me do that again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Like so. Then you can change to the next notes. So keeping this pulse is going to be what helps you get faster and faster. Because if you can control the pulse and you can control how fast you're going and how even the strokes are, that will help you get to a high speed and be able to control all speeds in between. So think of that pulse. Just tap it out. 2, 3, 4. Da 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 da. Switch. 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 So this is an excellent exercise for the fingers as well as the right hand, keeping everything consistent and straight. So what you want to do after time is you want to speed this up. So you have to create a faster pulse. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Till you can get to 1, 2, 3, 4. Once you get to that speed, then you've really built some control. And then going faster than that. Now, if you're at the level where you can do it faster, then what I recommend is to shorten the amount that you're doing. So shorten the counts. Don't go all the way to 4. 4 is just the beginning step. Go to count 2, for example. 1, 2. 1, 2, and you're fitting 8 strokes in that beat 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And you're doing an extra downstroke, the 9th stroke on the 2nd beat. So we're doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 2, and 2, and So we got 1 and 2. Da, 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 2 and 2 and 2 and da, da. Now speed this up. So the important thing is to keep consistent and start at a tempo that's comfortable for you. So build that control, slowly increase your speed. If you need to, you can use a metronome for this to help you slowly bump up the speed. So this is one exercise that'll really help the tremolo, the trilling. It'll help both the left hand and the right hand. All of these things will be utilized in this exercise. So let's go up and down the neck a little bit. This is a little bit more advanced. I'll show you the finger positions that we're going to use here. So we're going to do the short version. So D, E, D, E, D, E, D, E, D. Then we're going to go E, F, E, F, E, F, E, F, F, E. Back. Now we get to F. We got to shift up with our index finger. This is hard to find. It's like finding a needle in a haystack up here. You can use the harmony that F and C have. The C note should give you a cue as to how the F should sound. Da, 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 da. Use that harmony. These notes are harmonious together. They have a beautiful harmonic relationship, and so that's how you find it without having frets on this fingerboard. Da, 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 da. Try to internalize this, the sound of this note, how the relationship is. So find that note with your index finger, then use your third finger to go up to G. Now we're going to go up before we come down. We're going to go to G and A flat to exercise that pinky finger, third finger and pinky finger. Back down. See, I gotta work out my pinky finger and third finger too. They need a little bit more consistency, a little bit more strength. So let's work that out together. So let's start slowly. 2 and 1, 2 and. Now I'm starting to feel some tension, so take a break. This is a good time to take a break. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments. I'll be happy to answer, and we're going to talk about that. Answer some questions later on, discuss some things that are happening in the Oud world, but just take a break, stretch everything out. You don't want to overexert yourself at all, because you can get into pain and get into trouble. So reorient yourself, come back, find that G and that F. Listen to the harmony. The G and the C are harmonious together, and the C and the F are harmonious together too. So let's go now to the pinky again. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, getting tired, so take a break. So this is great exercise. I don't do this most of the time. Usually I just warm up by playing what I feel. I should probably do a bit more of this from time to time, but you know, that's life. But if you're developing and you want to develop some finger dexterity, I recommend doing this kind of thing. I used to do more of it back when I was learning the oud. And but you know, that happens. It's not always something you can really do by doing exercise. But if you actually do exercises every day like this, you'll actually probably be in better finger shape. So I recommend doing it from time to time at least. Now let's go back down. Now, how do we get back to the E flat? We got to shift with first finger and third finger. That's what I recommend anyway, because shifting with first finger is the leader, and that way you will run into less trouble finding the note. You're kind of just crab walking down, and you can slowly shift yourself down to the D note. Now, that's not what I always do, but in this technique, when you're going from one note back to a higher note, I always lead with my index finger to go down. Now, if I'm going straight down, then I would do something different. I would shift a different way. So this only applies to this kind of exercise. So we're going down, first finger from F to E flat. Shift. Shift. Let's go back up. Now, second finger, fourth finger. First finger, third finger. Third finger, fourth finger. Back down. Shift. That's another way to shift. You don't have to use your second finger and fourth finger. You can go 1 2 1 2, 1 3 1 3, 1 3 1 3 if you want. But in order to exercise this pinky finger, second finger stretch, I get you to do that. This is the speed that you want to get it up to. Then you can eventually do stuff like this. My pinky finger is still kind of weak, so that's normal. Don't worry too much about that. It will get better with time. Alright, so that's the exercise I wanted to show you today. It's very useful for the left hand, right hand, coordinating all these things. It's a bit more advanced. And the reason why I'm showing you this is because I'm doing a promo on the Masterclass that I have, which is a Techniques and Ornaments online learning program. We're going to be doing a promo on that this month with the Egyptian music course that I have, the Egyptian Music Volume 1, which you learn 5 Egyptian songs. So I'll be doing that this month, and so it's a bit more for advanced people. However, yeah, so if this was a bit over your head, then don't worry about it too much. I have some other YouTube lives that I've done with more beginner exercises, but this will come in handy at some point. Now, no matter what your level, you can try starting to do this, you know, to get somewhere at least. You know, start very slow. It's okay to start. Everyone's got to start somewhere. So yeah, Oh yeah, so I wanted to answer any questions you have about the oud or playing the oud and all that kind of stuff. Wanted to mention a couple cool things that are happening right now. There's actually an oud trade show of sorts, or oud festival going on in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia right now. Let's see if I want to bring this up for you, show you. The Sultan Instruments company in Istanbul, I've been following their Instagram, and they've posted some stories and stuff from their visits there. Let's see if I can put that up here. Oh yeah, it's not working for me right now. Let's see here. It's Instagram, okay. Yeah, something happened here. Let's see if I can add it back. I want to share it on the screen. All right, there we go. There it is. Okay. So yeah, this is from the Yildirim Palabiyik Instagram. Let me just scroll through this a bit. So March 9th to 11th. Very cool stuff on their Instagram here. They're in Saudi Arabia with some big oud players. This is Yildirim Palabiyik here, the oud maker, the guy who made this oud. And as you can see, they have a beautiful display for all these oud makers. There's oud makers from all over the Middle East, from Syria, Egypt, you name it. It's a very cool thing happening right now. Big oud players, Islam Al-Qasabji, Khalid Muhammad Ali, really good oud player. And yeah, very cool stuff happening. So it's very cool to have all these nice ouds in one place. So yeah, now let's see if we can get this on the audio here. You can see if you go to this guy's Ouds for Sell, you can see some people playing ouds at that festival. Big oud players like Abadi Al Jahar there. Let's see here. Here's the, let's ignore that. Sabsabi from the Sabsabi brothers from Syria are there, showing off some ouds. So that's very cool. All the big oud makers are there, really. And so that's what's happening there right now. What else is happening? So I have some notes here. We're gonna be getting designed a new oud for limited OudforGuitarists limited edition oud, which I'm really excited about. The Sultan Instrument Company and Yildirim Palabiyik, they are going to be designing this oud especially for OudforGuitarists. especially with some features that I think are going to make it a lot easier for Western people to get into the Oud. And so I'm really excited about that. More information hopefully in the next few months about that Oud. So that's going to be very cool. I'm excited to get updates about that. Also this month I'll be doing another YouTube live, and I'll probably be focusing again on some technique stuff, some technical things. And so I hope you'll be able to watch that. Hopefully we won't have any audio problems that time. What else is happening? We've got the Masterclass and Egyptian Music Volume 1 program promo this month. So if you're on the newsletter, you'll hear more about that probably coming up in the next week or so. So yeah, now I'd love to answer some questions. Sorry about the audio problem earlier. Let's see here. All right. Just gonna go through. You guys are really kind. He's too deep in the music when I was had the audio problem. How can we attract his attention to this issue? Yeah, one of my students noticed and emailed me, so that's how I noticed. Thank you, Carol, for that. All right. Okay. So you can do, Bar, a good question. You can use any type of Risha for this exercise. Sami, this Oud is by Yildirim Palabiyik and Sultan Instrument.com. Yeah, this is Oud I've been using for 5 years, and really happy with it. It's one of the nicest Ouds that I have in my collection and that I've played. Just the playability and the overall workmanship is just like it's awesome. I'm really happy with this Oud. So I highly recommend them. Yeah. So which is better to start with for a very new player, your premium courses or private lessons? So it depends on your background. That's a really good question. I really highly recommend that you just think about like what your background is. If you're like really new to music, then I might recommend private lessons online. Some people, even if they're completely new to music, online lessons are great. If you want more one-on-one instant feedback, and you want someone to kind of coach you along the way, or to keep you accountable, then I recommend online lessons. Now the online stuff, the Zoom lessons, the online stuff, the distance kind of education kind of thing, that's good if you're just really independently minded. But if you need some, a little bit more hand holding, if you've got a strong music background, I think you're going to be very successful with the online programs that I have. But if you want instant feedback, the Zoom lessons are the way to go. Especially if you have like questions, a lot of questions about music, or you have about Western music versus Middle Eastern music, all this kind of stuff. Then I highly recommend the Zoom lessons, because you can ask me anything in the lesson and I'm happy to help you. So that's what I recommend. And you can get more information about my private Oud lessons by going to OudforGuitarists.com /lessons and check that out. Or you can just email me and I can give you more details about it. I do teach Arabic style and Iranian style, Persian style Oud playing, and I do teach Turkish style a little bit. I have some students who have come to me wanting to learn Turkish music, so I do that a little bit too, but mostly I teach Persian style and Arabic style. Yeah, So yeah, any other questions that you have? Hi John, thanks for coming to us from China. It's awesome. So you have a Kisney and I want to play Oud. Any advice about Oud tuning? Yeah, that's a good question. So yeah, the Kisney, it would be more in line with Turkish tuning. Now, if you want to tune an Arabic Oud to Kiz tuning, the equivalent of Kiz tuning, everything's one step lower. So if you're into Kizne and you're learning Turkish music, then I recommend getting a Turkish Oud. There are some Ouds that you can tune them Turkish and Arabic. It doesn't matter. For example, this Oud and also the Sultan Plus Oud, which I have over here. These Ouds are variable. You can play both. You can do both tunings because of the size of the Oud. So the shorter neck allows for higher tuning, like the Turkish tuning. So yeah. Let's see what else. So yeah, for Kiz tuning, you'd have to tune everything one step higher. And then for the Oud tuning, what they do, let me just go get a Turkish tuned Oud. I don't know if this is in tune. Yeah, it's not in tune right now. So anyway, they would tune D or Re, A or La, E or Mi. They would tune this one to B. So the Kiz tuning is everything is on B. So you would tune your low bass to B, and then you would tune this one to F sharp. So that's the Kiz tuning basically, and it's really good. You can do it on the Arabic Oud too. Let me just show you anyway. So this is one tune, one whole step lower. Really good. It's really beautiful and very resonant on the Oud because you have that low, in this case A, and then you have E. What is a reasonable daily practice time? Reasonable would be half an hour to an hour. If you're pressed for time, though, if you're like really pressed for time, one day you just don't have any time to pick up the Oud, at least do 5 minutes and just do some exercises. That way you'll be able to keep it in, your fingers and everything honed at least, or at least not losing anything. And when you're first starting out, it's easy to lose what you've gained. After you've been playing for 20 plus years like I have, you don't lose much. You may be a bit rusty on certain things, but a few days practice or you take off a week, you don't lose anything. But in the beginning, you do kind of lose what you gained. So I highly recommend just adding 5 minutes a day if you're really pressed for time. But a reasonable time to practice every day is at least 30 minutes minimum. Yeah. But yeah, do you recommend a book of pieces transcribed for standard guitar? I don't know what you mean by that. I don't know of any Arabic music, Middle Eastern music that's transcribed for the guitar. At least it's not my kind of area of expertise. Um, yeah. So random questions. Thanks, Martin. What do you recommend for those interested in the Greek repertoire of oud playing? Ah, that's a good question. Yeah, I don't know too much about the Greek repertoire of oud playing. Let's see here. Now, Greek players generally use the same register as Turkish ouds, so one step higher than an Arabic oud. So you got D, A, E, so on and so forth. But this isn't always the case. I mean, you can tune to whatever note you want to, really, as long as you keep the main tuning in fourths. So it might not always be the case, but there are some Greek players. So definitely got to check out some Greek players and try to find what music they're playing. But generally, they kind of more align with the Turkish oud style, if I were to sum it up in a way. Also, the Azerbaijani and the Armenian oud style also is more closely aligned with the Turkish style. They might be using Turkish ouds and Turkish tuning, so they'll be playing in that range. But for repertoire and stuff, I don't know a whole lot about what kind of repertoire the Greeks play, though I do enjoy it when I do get my hands on it. But there is a lot of Turkish music mixed in. Some players that you might want to check out. He's Armenian, but he lives in Greece, and he does play some Heg Yazidjan. Let me see if I'm spelling this correctly. This is one of my favorite oud players. Heg Yazidjan, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. He's Armenian, but he lives in Greece. His work is excellent. So it's a bit more on the Armenian Turkish side of things, but there is an album that he's played on called Greek Traditional Instruments. It's called Uti, or spelled like this in Greek, something like that with Greek letters. And it's a great album. I don't know how much Greek music is on it, but it's beautiful to kind of get the vibe of where you're going with that. There's another oud player, Nikos Dimitriatos. No. Nikos Dimitriadis, I think. Yeah, Nikos Dimitriadis. He's another oud player, a Greek oud player. I'll put this in here. So look at, find his work. Thank you, Anno. That's great. George Papas. Yeah, check him out. I don't know him. I don't know his work, actually. I should look into him as well. Thank you for that. George Papas. Yeah. There's a lot of Greek oud players. I just don't know them too well. Okay. Next question. How would you describe what good oud is? What's your first thing to look at? Okay, that's a huge question. What's a good oud? First things first. For any amateur player, the basics of what you need in a good oud is good action. The playability is so important. So you need to. A good oud is an oud that the action is stable. So there's no warping in the bending in the neck. There may always be some warping in the soundboard. That as long as the action is not affected by any bending in the soundboard, it should be okay. But the distance of the strings here at the neck joint, that's the most important, because that's going to affect the playability of the instrument. So it needs to be between 2 millimeter to maximum 3 millimeter. from height, the string height here. It's different on different ouds. It's a little bit, I think it's a bit higher on Arabic ouds, the action in general, a little bit lower on Turkish ouds perhaps, in generally speaking, but that's not always true. The next thing that you're looking at for an amateur player, what's a good oud, is good oud tuning pegs, so something that's moving smoothly, and that's important. The next thing, if you're better, more than amateur, amateur but advanced, in your oud playing, then what you want to look at is what woods are been used. Maybe cedar or spruce. Those are good woods for the soundboard. Ebony fingerboard versus the walnut. You want to make sure that the ebony is more luxurious. It's a higher cost. But those are the basics. A good oud also, this is an important one. A good oud has a well-shaped nut. The nut, this part here that holds the strings on, it should be evenly spaced, and it all should be smooth so that the strings don't get caught and get too tight. Sometimes if you're tuning the oud and all of a sudden crack, you hear the friction makes the oud stay put here, and then all of a sudden slips and it's hard to tune the oud. So that's important too. You have to try tuning the oud and make sure that it's moving pretty smoothly. Most ouds though, they do have a little bit of friction at the nut. So that's normal even on expensive ouds, on good ouds. Now there's after that, it depends on your taste, what kind of taste of oud you're really into. The Arabic sound or the Turkish sound, some people have really strong opinions about either or. So that's a whole other question. What's a good oud sound? Well, there's a lot of opinions about that. It's all preference. All right. Second question. Do you know if the oud was used in Western medieval music? I know Edward Paniagua's recordings often include oud. That's another good question. So there's an interesting video from a luthier in Europe. I think he's a German luthier, Sebastian Stenzel. He's either German or Austrian. I'm not too sure. He had a video on his theory of the lute in Arabic in European music. That's very interesting. Let me see if I can find that. Let's see here. Can't find it off the top of my searching here. Sebastian Stenzel lute. Let's see. Can't find it. But yes, the oud was used in medieval Europe, as far as my understanding is. And apparently it was very much the same, but evolved so much in Europe, but it stayed quite the same in the Middle East. Eduardo Paniagua's music, he collaborates with a Moroccan oud player by the name of Omar Metioui, and he's fantastic, and it's more like Andalusian style. Beautiful music. All right. So I have a good teacher, but some pieces he gives me, I spend a month on the same piece. Is that fine? Because it becomes very boring. Yeah, so that's a good question too. I mean, it depends on the style of your teacher. But yeah, some music takes a while to really learn it properly. And I have some students who, sometimes I have to kind of get them to work on the same piece of music over some weeks in order to make sure they play it properly. Otherwise, you're not going to you gain enough from that piece of music. So that's important. Sometimes you have to give it a rest. If you're not making any progress, sometimes it's good to take a break from that piece of music and work on something different, just so that you sometimes come back to it later in a few months and you have a fresh set of ears, you have a fresh set of eyes, and that is very helpful sometimes for your learning. But it is normal. Don't worry too much about it. Yeah, I recommend just sticking with it if you can. But on your own time, practice more. If you want to practice other pieces, go ahead, do it. But stick to trying to practice that one piece. Let's see. And it is not the same piece. Sometimes the same notes for weeks. I don't know what you mean by that, but if you can clarify it, that'd be awesome. Like same exercise for weeks depends on how you're doing. Do you feel like you're mastering the music or not quite? If you think you're mastering the music and you want to do something else, then maybe you should talk to your teacher about it. But like you do have to keep your interest up, and that's partly why I recommend sometimes for some students, if they're finding that they're getting bored, got to move on and do something different. However, there's certain times where you have to learn it properly, and you have to spend the time. But it always depends on the situation. Thanks, Anno, for all these names of Greek players. That's awesome. Tosh, what do you think of this player from Australia, Joseph Tawadros? He's coming to my town to play Vivaldi 4 Seasons. Yeah, he's an excellent technical player. I really like one of his albums. I can't remember the name off the top of my head now. It came out about 5 or 6 years ago. He's an excellent technical player, and he knows the tradition really well. I'm not a big fan of the tone that he gets out of his oud playing. He plays very virtuosically and very fast, but to be able to play that fast and to play the stuff that he plays, you automatically are going to lose tone. You're going to lose the beauty and soulfulness of the oud playing. So not all of his work is my cup of tea. Like playing Vivaldi, I mean, that's just not my thing for playing the oud. It's cool to sometimes do some Western classical pieces on the oud. He's more of like more of a contemporary modern player who knows the tradition really well, but he's playing to make a living and to collaborate with other musicians to do different things, and he's not really just my cup of tea, but an excellent, fantastic player, and he knows the tradition. Great. Omar Metui, the Andalusian style. Thanks for putting his name down there. Excellent player. I really enjoy that. So if there are no more questions, I really appreciate you guys spending the time. I know we had a rough start. But yeah, there are some great oud players out there. If you're interested, my favorite oud players are my teacher, Hossein Behruzania, Persian style. He was my teacher back so many years ago. Hossein Behruzania. He plays a strictly Iranian Persian style barbat or oud. You'll notice stark difference between the Arabic players. So I love his playing. He was a big influence in my life. Also another big influence, Simon Shahin. I think he has the strongest ability on the oud out of all the oud players. For what he can do, that's outside of like Maqam Nahawand. Like a lot of players, they can play very technically, but it's all in Western scales, and Maqam Nahawand. Everything is in a minor scale. But Simon Shahin can really do everything. And at least that's what I think. That's my opinion. That's my his tone is also strong. He can play extremely fast, but he doesn't sacrifice the tone. That's a big thing for me. Like, this oud still sounds soulful, and it's partly because he's very particular about what kind of oud he uses and how he plays too. He plays with a very rigid cow horn risha, mezrab, and that comes out in his playing. And he uses Arabic ouds that his brother repairs, and they're very traditional style ouds, Arabic style ouds. Another one of my favorite players, just because of the melodies he creates are quite unique. He's passed on right now. He's a Moroccan oud player called Said Shrabi. Now, he uses a tuning that I don't really enjoy. He uses the high F tuning, but the content of what he plays is amazing. I really enjoy his compositions, how he weaves in and out of rhythm so seamlessly. So those are some of my favorite players. There's a new guy that I recently learned about last year, who he actually appeared on the Instagram stories earlier. Islam Al-Qasabji, an Egyptian player. He's excellent. Qasabji. I don't know how you spell it. He's excellent, and I think he knows. He plays more than just nahwan. So I really respect that when you go beyond and don't want to just play arpeggios on the oud and play stuff that you can play better on a guitar. That's kind of my pet peeve with oud playing these days. Yeah, the Tetuan Oud festivals. I don't know what happened to them. There's some good recordings that they've done. Said Shrabi comes on that too. Oh, another good oud player, Ahmed Al Khatib, which we've had on the Oud Talks, my YouTube channel. Excellent oud player. And Nizar Rohana. These guys are all Palestinian. All my favorite oud players are all Palestinian. Nizar Rohana, Ahmed Al Khatib. So yeah. No, I haven't heard of Kanan Ghoul. But yeah, that's about it for me. I've gone over time. Thanks again for joining, for talking about this stuff. Do check out the Instagram Yildirim Palabiyik, and follow them. This is the Palabiyik. This is the handle there. Follow what they're doing with their ouds. The ouds are amazing. Yeah. So thanks so much. And next week or in 2 weeks, we'll have another one. And we'll have another YouTube live. We'll do something different, a different type of exercise. And yeah, if you have any requests for that YouTube live, something you want me to cover, send me an email. I'd love to hear what you want me to cover. We'll try to do it at the same time zone. Here's my email address. Yeah, support@OudforGuitarists.com. And yeah, happy to take some requests. kids tuning sounds on Arabic oud because you got that low A. Good last question. Okay, I'll answer this question and then I'm off. Thanks so much, Bar, for joining. Yeah, when are you gonna come for your 2 lessons? I still haven't forgotten. I still owe you 2 lessons. So yeah, for daily practice, I recommend this exercise. This exercise is very important for getting faster on the oud. Down on C, up on G. Down on C, up on G. Just do this every day. This is really important. Then you can do anything on the oud. So yeah, just down, up, down, up. Okay, thanks so much, Robert, for coming. Thanks, Carol, Brett, Anno. Yeah, thanks so much. Martin, thank you for all those Greek players. That'll be very useful for people, I'm sure. All right, awesome. Have a good one. Have a good weekend, a great week, and we'll be in touch. Bye.